Hey guys, it's Ike, and welcome to my reaction to the 5th episode of Adachi and Shimamura. No recaps other than the fact that we saw Adachi's mom in the previous episode, and we saw Shimamura standing up to Adachi's mom about Adachi, so that was pretty nice. And then we had the whole karaoke and head patting scene, which was also nice, but other than that, let us get started. Ah, Christmas with Shimamura. Or not. It was all just a daydream. Is it weird to walk around town with Shimamura on Christmas Day? Well, I don't know, man. Christmas is quite a special event. Ooh, what sort of weird things? Special time alone with her. I like that analogy. Mm-hmm. Hold my bag. Well, I mean... Ooh! I guess you'd comply to that too, huh? You're having weird thoughts, man. Gather your courage, Adachi. Muster up your courage, Adachi. Break through these two. She's trying to change up what she should be saying. Or at least maybe try to not sound as indifferent or not as caring. I feel you on that, Shimamura, trying to figure out what to say. No. I mean, if they teach you, they'd learn something too. Ooh! You have the can on the goddamn pedestal. Yeah, you would have to go and meet her mom. If she is there by chance, anyways. Look how happy Adachi is. So surprised. The way that they were wondering about the way she talked, I guess it's like her mom acts young and Shimamura is over here embarrassed about it. At least that's how I'm looking at it anyways. Whoa. You have a study room? The fuck? Oh. Little croquette. Well, look at Yashiro. She gets to be a mascot. What is it? Another... What is this background music? It's so just so uplifting and a little comical. She say not any more than normal? Close? Are we close? Not any more than normal. Well, someone doesn't want to be normal. Like normal friends. Aww. Okay, well, that was rather... Well, it's just like the other scene that we had with them. It was rather just interplace within other scenes of Adachi and Shimamura. We get another forehead kissing scene. It's dusty because you don't study. You haven't even started yet, man. She just keeps on fucking avoiding it, man. We're never gonna get there. And not died. Well, I assumed so. I was always the kid serving lunch to the other kids. You feel like you were so you were just trying to make people happy? The kids serving lunch to the other kids? Or just serving in general? Wow, what a vision. Why, because she's so needy? Ah, you're picky with who you get to hold hands with, huh? Well, you know, you've laid this trap out yourself. Wow, that cameraman though. It's a little bit too warm around here now. She fell asleep. It's because it's you. Exactly, that's why you shouldn't do it on the lips. Go for the forehead. At least you have an excuse. A lot better than the school bag. Hey, I thought you guys were gonna study. Thought this was a study session, not a napping session. Wow, what a smart kid. Or pessimistic. The first weird thing, just her staring at you constantly. Mm-hmm. Ooh, we're gonna have a talk after witnessing and observing all these weird acts. I assume these amplified weird acts are just because Adachi wants to ask Shimamura for the totally not a Christmas date. She's gonna wring it right out of you eventually anyways. Next week? In about 10 days, mm-hmm. She's doing herself. What?
特別に仲良しの女の子がいた。いつも私の後ろに隠れていて、一言で言うと、
Mm-hmm.
みたいな子だった。どんなものにも興味を示して、その子はビー玉とか風鈴とかそういうものを見つけた時だけ、私の後ろから離れて、そっちに走っていった。
Mm-hmm. What makes you think about this? With Adachi running away and all. Wow! Look at those otters. She wants to walk to school with you, man. Ohio-su. Trying to sound like a jock.
うちの子は遅くて困るよ。余計なことは言わないでいいから。パンを1個。もっと食べないととかお母さんに言われない？
She doesn't, or at least that's what I assume.
あまり話さないし、家にもいないし。あら、そう。ごちそうさま。
How to get Shimamura to finish breakfast quickly. Force Adachi into an uncomfortable situation. Come on, Adachi, we don't have enough time in this episode. You know, it's a step forward. It's one step. No. 25? Yeah, it's just the 25th of this month. Yeah. There's nothing special.
クリスマスだよね。なんでと言いそうになり、言葉を止める。なんでクリスマス？なんで私と？なんでと聞いてしまうと、私たちの関係の脊髄がぐにゃりと曲がってしまいそうな気がした。それは直すのに多大な努力と手間暇が必要で。
It's change.
するのかと考えると寒々しい答えがすぐに見えてしまう。何するの？まだ全然何も考えてないけど。
She's just taken enough courage to get to this point. She hasn't.
足立は家にいてクリスマス気分を味わったことがないから、そこで私に頼んだと言ったところで納得させてもらいたい。だって態度といい赤面といい、これではほとんど告白と一緒じゃないか。クリスマスっていう賑やかな日に誰かと遊んでみたいのかなじゃなくて、やってみたかったから。なんだ、誰かと一緒にいたくて。でも他に友達がいないから、私に。
Oh yeah, totally, dude.
それでいいなら。本当に?
Is it like that change in the relationship that they have that she's afraid of? Not even knowing whether it might be possibly even be a positive or negative, you never know. But it's just that change that you just... Also, Adachi is really, really happy right now. You know what? She's been trying, quote unquote trying, for a while now until Shimamura pushed her against the corner, and now we're here. It's good that Adachi's got her little Christmas date. Wow, what a weird speech that you're having right now. Oh, so busy. Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I guess it's not like Santa's going to be there even if you're out for Christmas, because you said that there's no way that a guy as nice as him would be going around giving gifts to people. Alright. A lot of stuff to write. Alright, so that was episode 5 of Adachi to Shimamura. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comments down below. You know that I always like having a conversation with you guys, or just like to see what your thoughts is on the episode. For me, I thought that this episode was pretty good. I think I said in the previous episode that I liked it, but I didn't enjoy it as much, you know? Like the funness meter wasn't as high as it was back in episode 3 or episode 2, but here in episode 5, I feel like we went right back to that funness. Overall, I really enjoyed this episode, and before I ramble on any further, I am going to my notes, which after 5 episodes, I finally gave in and decided to write, because if I don't, I'm just going to ramble on like this forever, and it's just a bit of a pain in the butt to figure out what timestamp to do. But anyways, so in the beginning of the episode, we had our usual monologue, this time with Adachi, and she had a nice little analogy with the whole writing on paper and writing a little bit too hard on it and just creating that crease in the paper to where even when you erase the name, you still see it, or you can even still feel it on the paper just because you've pushed that pen or pencil so hard. Yeah, I really like that analogy that even when she erased Shimamura's name from the notebook, she could still see the crease, the indent on the paper. So even when it's been erased, Shimamura is still in Adachi's head somewhere, you know, even in the back of her mind. Shimamura is always there. So I like that, and we go on to the main premise of this episode, which is Adachi wanting some special alone time with Shimamura, and the best time for that is Christmas, obviously, so she's trying to ask Shimamura if they could hang out on Christmas, which is totally a not special event at all, you know? You can always just hang out with your friends one-on-one all the time on Christmas. Adachi feels a little on edge as she tries to ask Shimamura about the whole Christmas non-date. And although she says she feels like she's a little on edge, or she's on edge and she climbed up the tree and she can't fucking climb down, I feel like, I mean, you've kind of been at that point for a while now. Adachi, you've been bottlenecking yourself for a while. But anyways, during her first attempt of asking Shimamura, she ends up asking her to study with her, and they went over to Shimamura's house. Then we cut to another scene of Hino and Nagafuji, and we get another kiss on the forehead scene. It just makes me wonder whether we're gonna see a third one or not. But we saw that Nagafuji is a little mad at Hino for saying that they are as close as a normal friend can be. So, you know, here's Nagafuji who doesn't want to be normal friends. And, well, I mean, she is the one who's initiating this whole forehead kissing thing again. After that, we go back into the scene with Adachi and Shimamura's study session, aka just Shimamura taking a nap because, ooh, it's just so warm and comfortable under this Tokatsu. Adachi is just having more trouble trying to ask Shimamura. I have that issue too, so it's very understandable, although for me I'd much prefer to just do it via text or just anything via text so I don't have to freaking say it. Or what I like to do is write out a low script first so I at least know what to say, or else I might just stumble and mess up my words and then completely forget about what I said 2 minutes earlier. Anyways, after that study/napping session, we skip over to the next day and the next couple days, and we're inside Shimamura's head, who has been noticing Adachi's weird acts, such as her constantly staring at Shimamura and just her face looking like she wants to tell Shimamura something, but she can't. And then, you know, the whole just suddenly running up to Shimamura and be like, "Hey, Shimamura, I'm going to the bathroom." Shimamura decides to confront Adachi about this, who then decides that she still needs more time before she asks you out on this Christmas hangout non-date thingy. And at that point, it made Shimamura remember about her friend in kindergarten who she had always been around with during that time anyways, and they had always been together holding hands, and the only time that girl would take her hand off of Shimamura is when she goes to her interests. And the little girl's interest at that time was shiny marbles and the wind chimes. And I wonder what sort of thinking that Shimamura has taken from this memory of her childhood, you know, that they were close and they have this sort of closeness, but then suddenly that closeness could suddenly be just taken away, or just being, just being pulled away because of the other person's interests. Like, that person's interest is not focused on Shimamura. Okay, anyway. Anyways, the next day of whatever day it is 10 days away from Christmas, so Adachi visits Shimamura early in the morning, and they actually get to have a small little conversation with Shimamura's mom, and Adachi had a low, I would say vulnerable moment, quote unquote, for her, as she talked about how her mom is not really around. I don't know why I say vulnerable, but, you know, it really depends on her and whether she actually talks about that or not. I don't know why, that scene kind of made me think, is Adachi and Shimamura's moms going to meet with each other one of these days? I wonder. I wonder. So anyways, we have another one-on-one chat with Adachi and Shimamura, and Adachi finally, in a roundabout way, manages to ask Shimamura out on Christmas. And during this part, Shimamura is kind of having a little dilemma on her own, and it's very interesting. I feel like I have a little grasp of it, but again, I'd much prefer to have a little bit more of the pieces before I fully place out what I think about Shimamura. You know, I'll just tell little pieces here and there, or I'll just keep my mouth shut from sounding too stupid. But during that scene with Shimamura, it shows that she does get a feeling that Adachi might have some feelings for her, consider that she says the way that Adachi looks and the way that she asks, it sounds like she's asking her out, like go out on a date and all that mumbo jumbo. And perhaps that scares Shimamura, because that's a whole change in relationship, and a lot of people are very scared of change because change involves things that you may or may not be uncomfortable with. You don't know. But it's that element of uncertainty, and then there's also her feeling of whether she's going to care about it. If Adachi confesses, then this relationship might get broken, or it might need to change, and it's going to need a lot of fixing. And Shimamura doesn't really know whether she's going to bother with that, you know, to actually even participate and be a part of this relationship. It brought me back to when she was thinking about her days in kindergarten, when she says, back in those days when I actually had more interest. And it reminded me of her other speeches when she's talking about how she feels like she's not as interested in anything, and even like, you know, just her hanging out with her friends, it just feels like she's chipping away, but she still does it anyways. So I think, you know, this inner turmoil of Shimamura is very interesting. It's very similar to some characters in Yuri, in other Yuri anime/mangas as well, that I'm not really gonna say just because whatever. I'm here for Adachi and Shimamura right now, I say, despite the fact that I name dropped Sora no Method some episodes ago. But mainly because so I can shit on Sora no Method. How fucking dare they? Alright? But actually, that is the end of my notes. I feel a whole lot better now that I have notes and I can write stuff, and it's just so nice. But other than that, thank you guys for sticking around. I'm not even, you know what? I'm just gonna end it here. No thanks. Just fuck it.